taking a look at the Carolinas again, um, and I kind of lumped together South Carolina and North Carolina. You had David Hobbs, who Tennessee was able to pick up out of Concord, North Carolina, and Nathan Leacock out of Raleigh, North Carolina. So you had two significant prospects. Those are both 4 stars. Hobbs, is a defensive lineman. Leacock is the wide receiver. You had two out of the Carolinas in Tennessee's class. That's good, but I think you'd rather that number be along the lines of 4 or 5 each and every year that Tennessee's able to pull out of the Carolinas. And if they're not able to do that, a big part of the reason is going to be South Carolina. Let's face it. If South Carolina had tanked, and I thought they would before the Tennessee game, I thought they'd lose to Tennessee. I thought they'd lose to Clemson. Had that been the case and Spencer Rattler not suddenly found himself, I think Pringle and Mazeo Bennett very likely goes somewhere else, maybe Tennessee, and that changes the whole face of the 2023 SEC signing class.
Yeah, no, you're right. That's a huge deal if that happens, and if they do go, I mean, Mazeo Bennett is 2024. Tennessee's got a really huge head start then for that class, and I thought they would tank after that loss to Florida. I mean, I really did. And so that was crazy how things turned around. I would say that you're right. I think you need 4 to 5. I can just off the top of my head. I mean, Leonard Little, Sean Ellis, Sean Bryson. These are all on the national championship team. Wasn't Billy Ratliff from South Carolina too? And
Billy Ratliff was from South Carolina, yes.
Yes. Billy Ratliff, Leonard Little, and Darwin Walker. The whole defensive line on the 98 national championship team hailed from South Carolina. And obviously Albert Haynesworth a little bit later. That's a big deal. And so you're right. You need 4 to 5 because let's be honest. If you get 4 to 5 recruits if you just pluck out any random collection of 4 to 5 recruits, the hope is that 2 to 3 of them work out. And so if you want 2 to 3 work out from the Carolinas, you need 4 to 5. And you're right, Tennessee is there's going to be a lot that they have to deal with. And look, Mac Brown, for whatever issues he has coaching, because I don't think he's the best coach in the world, but I will say he recruits. He's a great recruiter. And North Carolina winning their division last year they're going to be hard to fight off too for a little while. So Tennessee's got to fight with North Carolina, South Carolina. Clemson's not going away. Now, North Carolina and South Carolina, you're right, Tennessee will always be better, but those schools could pluck out guys that could inflate Tennessee's class. They actually have to fight with Clemson to have a better class. That's a problem. And so that's why I said, and I still maintain, the biggest game of the year almost beyond the college football playoff was that Orange Bowl, because that had everything to do with the future of college football recruiting between Tennessee and Clemson. It's no secret Clemson's rise came at Tennessee's demise, and a lot of that had to do with it all started with Lane Kiffin pushing away Taj Boyd and Dabo Swinney building his whole program around the splash Taj Boyd made. I talk about a lot about the damage Lane Kiffin did to Tennessee. That might be number one, pushing away Taj Boyd and Taj Boyd ending up at Clemson.
No, agreed. Now, if you look at Tennessee, let me ask you to pick one word to describe their class. It got off to this just incredible start with Nico last March committing to Tennessee and then recruiting for Tennessee. But if you look at it now, the Vols number 9 in the Go Vols 24/7 or the 247 Sports Composite, I should call it. So currently that would at number 9, which is a top 10 class, and that's great. You have them behind Alabama, Georgia, and LSU. So that would be the 4th best signing class in the SEC. But you're about to add Texas and Oklahoma. Okay, so if you start to include them into the future, then they are listed ahead. You've got Alabama, Georgia, Texas, and Oklahoma 1, 2, 3, 4. LSU is 6. So suddenly they go from 4th in the SEC to that would be 6th in the SEC with 2 ahead of them. Let me make sure and do my math. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, you got it right.
Yes. So that you got to be better than that. So if you picked one word to describe Tennessee's signing class this year, what would you pick? What word would you pick to describe their class? I'm gonna go with doable. Like it's manageable. It's something that they can grow on. But if we're sitting here and we're talking about sixth in the SEC with Oklahoma and Texas coming in, that's not good enough. Number 10 is not going to be good enough, Caleb.
Yeah, I could have gone with the phrase. I don't know if I could go with the word because I would have agreed with you with doable or hopeful. Because on a broader scale, what I would say this about Tennessee's class: the signing class is not where Alabama and Georgia are or anything like that. But here's where it is. It addresses specific needs and maximizes the best of Josh Heupel's system. So the majority of the elite recruits in this class, the majority, are defensive players. We all know that's a need, including the secondary. They got some good secondary players coming in with this class. On top of that, they got their match made in heaven quarterback. And so you got somebody that's going to, and let's be honest, covering Josh Heupel's system now a little bit, I've kind of figured out that if you have the right quarterback and just basic level protection, everybody else is almost replaceable as long as receivers have a minimal amount of speed. And I think they have that now. And so you're going to see this offense by 2024 take no later than 2025, possibly by 2023. I think by 2024, go to another level, even by Josh Heupel standards, because of Nico Iamaleava being there. I think you are going to see the defense be shored up a little bit. Now, let's be honest, Dave. Offense reaching another level. Defense being shored up from where it is right now. That's you fix those two things. You do those two things. I think you beat either South Carolina or Georgia this past year, and you're in the college football playoff at that point.
So, well, if I'm Tennessee, I'm taking whoever pitched in for Nico this year, and I'm saying your 2024 money is going to be split amongst the best cornerbacks in the nation. It's exactly what I'm saying. You take that $8 million, you split it 3 different ways.